we had to talk about the breaking news that Rashee Rice. So according to Ian Rapoport of the NFL Network, Chiefs star Rashee Rice's season is expected to be over. He did receive some positive news today from Dr. Dan Cooper. Rice needs his LCL repaired, but there's a chance that that's the only ligament that needs to be repaired. He's expected to make a full recovery. So LCL repairs are measured in months, potentially 3 months. But if the surgery tomorrow confirms that's the only damage, if his ACL does not require a reconstruction, that's very excellent news, and he should be healthy enough for next season. So, guys, we kind of thought this was going to happen, that he would be out for the season. But what do you make of this news?
So let me get this straight. So you saying he is out for the season? He's having surgery done?
Yes, on his LCL.
Okay. Well, it's unfortunate, to hear the news. The thing is, him coming back, I was just thinking about, the injury in itself, how long he would be able to come back. And if he came back, how effective he would be as a receiver when he did come back. Wearing a brace on it, the cut and whatnot that you have to do, especially at his position, it's very hard to do. So that's, especially, wearing a brace is cumbersome. So I don't know, it's bad news.
I wasn't very optimistic going into all this, so it just strips away the last little bit of optimism I had for this season. Long term, it's great. But I was also under the impression that he was probably going to be suspended next year anyway. So maybe we don't have to rush him back next year anyway. Maybe he'll just be rehabbing while he's suspended. At this point, they should maybe push for an early, quick suspension to maybe have him rehab during the suspension to start the season. So it might work out timing-wise, actually. I don't know how that works with a guy being injured, and if he's not eligible to play, then is he technically still suspended, or does it have to be active and then he's suspended from the active games? I don't know. I guess these are interesting questions we'll have to worry about next year. For this year, I wasn't very optimistic then, and I'm not obviously optimistic now. And moving forward, I think it gets rid of a little, not that we had much leverage anyway, because I think teams knew that the situation was dire, but now we can't hide behind further testing. And I think everyone knows we badly need a receiver. The only thing that can help us is if tonight some guys step up and, we don't have to lose our shirt while bargaining for a potential number one receiver to come in here anymore. We could be like, well, so-and-so did pretty well. Juju did pretty well last night. Justin Watson looked great. I hope that's the case and we don't have to lose our shirt while negotiating, because there's pretty good options out there. And every week that teams lose and keep falling in the standings, those numbers will just grow for potential options for our team.
Well, if you're looking at, and that's what I'm really hoping for, that this wide receiver group does step up. If we're looking at maybe Rashee Rice, what he was able to do last year, maybe Xavier Worthy can parallel the same thing. I mean, he was a rookie last year, Rashee Rice, and we got Xavier Worthy this year. We've seen some flashes of him doing some greatness. Like I said, it's not like we run a very difficult thing for Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice was known for catching more slants, a couple of, hook routes and, wide receiver screens. That was the majority of his balls that he caught. He just had a great, yard at the catch, as far as, average. And that's where he really exploded. But as far as like the difficulty of the routes that we ran on this offense, I don't see anything that guys that we have here will be difficult to do. Like I said, we still got a Juju here. We still got a, Justin Watson, like you said. Now that by no means am I saying that you don't go and get a guy, but at least you do have to see and see what you have, at least with these guys that you have here in house first. And I agree with you, Tej. You shouldn't have to, bet the farm to get a guy. So, yeah, I'm all about pushing for these guys. If anybody's seen my little thing, my little rant I got, I'm behind the guys we got in the room right now. So,
JD, I know Ian Rapoport kind of talks about and how they were nervous they had to do an ACL reconstructive thing, which would be awful news. And then tomorrow we're going to find out more on this because he's going to do the surgery tomorrow. But LCL, JD, do you have any experience with an LCL injury?
No, I don't. I wouldn't say that's something that I've had an injury on LCL. But if it's something that they're saying good news and it's something he can just cop months to get back, that's the promising part of it. So,
yeah. And
even then, I would even say like with ACL, before it used to be an entire year. Now it could be down to months itself. Maybe 9 months for an ACL guy.
Depending on how bad the tear is, yeah. It's a different ball game now than it used to be, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Come on, baby. Go. Yes. That's a first down. It's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now.
But yeah, I think we'll see tonight what happens. But I think we personally have to make a deal. It just depends on what level player that we want to bring back. You want to bring back a guy that can help, or do you want to bring back a guy who can, obviously the number one cornerback on all opposing teams will take. So then Worthy can just deal with, number two's guarding him as he flies by him.
Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, there's guys like young guys out there who are, I think JD and I were big fans of Romeo Doubs. I know he's had some weird things going on with Green Bay, but he's a guy who's talking about price point. He's right Peach's alley on the price point because he's still on his rookie deal, and he has one more year left outside of this year. And and I know everyone's throwing around Amari Cooper. That's a guy you probably have to trade a third for, and he's a free agent next year, and you're going to have to pay the bank for that, a penny ante up for that. Whereas Romeo Doubs, you don't have to do that, and he's young, and you can kind of do some stuff with him. But I don't know as far as what's happening with him in Green Bay. But that's a good young guy who has showed some promise.
Romeo Doubs, Darius Slayton.
Well, Romeo Doubs he's a victim of having a very crowded wide receiver room, and now you have two tight ends. Kraft is showing that he can catch the football and get touchdowns as well. So you talk about Wicks, you talk about Reed, you talk about Christian Watson, and so when you start giving up passes, who the ball's going to. So I'm sure he's upset about that. But look, Dobbs is an absolutely incredible receiver. And I said that. I said I wanted him when he came out. Actually, I pulled up that footage. I'm going to put it out on Twitter what I said about Dobbs. It was two guys. It was Shakir and Dobbs. But Dobbs is one of the guys that kept showing up, man. He can catch the football. He can get open. He can do all the things you need him to do. He is an absolute baller. So if we're able to get him, that would be a good thing.
Yeah. Young guy, and he's cheap, and I don't think it's going to take him much to get out of there, especially with what's going on there. He's missing practice, kind of being a distraction for already a young team they have over there in Green Bay. So if they want to get rid of him, hey, by all means, Brett, go get him. That would be an amazing guy to get.
Speaking of losing leverage, a guy who's causing trouble and not showing up to games, doesn't want to show up to games, doesn't want to play in practice. That's rough too. So,
well, the thing is, it's all about environment. I think Andy is a different guy. He can talk to these guys. He's a player's coach. So if anybody could talk to him and kind of calm some of that down, Andy would be a good guy for it.
Yeah. And definitely a vacancy, and as well as when Rashee Rice does come back next year, and with the possible suspension, you're looking at being the number one or two receiver on this team. If you were to come over, I don't think you'll have a problem with targets, especially if you're playing with a team that wins all the time as much as we do. I don't think Romeo Doubs is going to have much problems playing in Kansas City.
And it's cold up in Green Bay. Nobody want. Hey, Green Bay is a spot that guys really didn't want to go to begin with. So.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.